guys, Marsengen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so today we have just got the new Battlefield reset over on Global. This isn't just the weekly reset, this is the actual reshuffle. So all of the enemies are now a different typing, and obviously we get a nice little bunch of rewards since that's all reset. So we get a bunch of stones and stuff like that. So basically the strat that I always use for these is Invisible Man is always going to be the same typing as Omega at the end. So Invisible Man is physical, so that means we've got physical Omega at the end of this. So ideally what we want to do is make sure that we have our good STR teams saved for the end. So you just want to use any random team against Invisible Man. I've seen people comment in the past that he is so easy that you can literally just bring like a leader and a sub leader and then bring like the rest of the team as Cybermen pretty much, because even as terrible as the Cybermen with no leader skill are, they still one-shot him, and I think one of them can survive like a super attack from him. So obviously if you get really bad RNG and he just keeps dodging everybody and then he repeatedly attacks the Cybermen, you could actually lose doing it that way. So I find the easiest way to do it is to just bring a free-to-play team like the Team Bardock or the Ginyu Force, and then you will be all good. Alright, so next up we have AGL, so bringing an extreme tech team. I like to get the extreme ones out of the way because the super teams are usually more powerful once you get to the end. So basically we are running extreme tech, but by using Super 17's leader skill we're running a 150 for androids, and then we've got the tech cell as the sub lead. So technically it is an extreme tech team, but obviously running the full android setup. I mean, this is going to be an absolute joke because of the androids. So let me just make sure this is turned off. We can get through this nice and quickly. So I'll go ahead and do this. Grab these and grab these. Obviously the first couple of stages you don't really need to put a huge amount of thought or like tactics into it, because first couple of stages are incredibly easy. I wouldn't be surprised if Super 17 just one-shots him with his 12-key super attack here, especially when you start using the higher leader skills. So he didn't. He took off what, like over half of his health? So obviously you want to try and save your stronger teams to the end. Now one thing you have to remember to bear in mind is when you get to some of the later bosses, especially I remember Cell is a really good example, because Cell can heal quite a bit, so you don't want that fight to drag on for too long. But in these later fights against some of the villain characters, they take a lot less damage from extreme type enemies, or at least it seems to be that way in my experience. Like in a previous run of the old setup, I accidentally brought an extreme team against Cell, and it felt like it took forever. So extreme AGL, again I have you and you, because basically every single one here is either an android or target Goku. So this is how you want to try and do all of these. I know a lot of you guys out there very used to the Battlefield strat. A lot of people try and build like category teams and stuff to bring, which you can obviously do, but honestly the easiest way is just to bring mono teams, and then as I'm doing here, obviously if you can within that mono team setup use like a category leader that fits on a bunch of units, then it just makes it even easier, because Battlefield isn't super difficult. It can be done with just like mono 120 leaders teams, but obviously once you start factoring in these category leader skills, like this one for example, we only have Android 13, and then obviously Super 17 is giving a 130 lead to everybody else. But once you start bringing category leaders and bringing some of these units, even some of the units that aren't usually like, you know, the most powerful units, because you're bringing these really high level leader skills, then it just becomes like really straightforward. There's not like a huge amount of strategy that you have to put into it. So Golden Frieza should actually finish off Thouser here, even though he's not the hardest hitting unit in the world, but there we go. So you can finish you off, and then who do we have next? Next up we have, let's get all these rewards. I forgot we're getting all the fresh rewards. I'd love to see that. So Supreme Kai, so he is super, so finally the extreme team is going to shine here. So extreme Int, this is another one where I don't really use like a full-on category, just because Extreme Int is a bit more weird to match up. So we got Kid Buu, and then you as the sub lead. So we got 130 and a 120 leader, and then we'll just bring these guys. I always save the Dark Mask King for a heroes team, because one of the strategies you can use at the end against Omega is to soften him up with weaker teams before you come in with your best team. Because the one thing you don't want to do, so for example this time around, right, Omega is going to be physical. So you don't want to bring your best, like, super stacked, super STR team, and then on the first turn he locks like the worst possible unit in slot 1, super attacks them as the first attack, which lowers their defense, and then hits them with a bunch of normal attacks as a follow-up and kills you. Because then you've used your best team immediately and you've done like no damage to him. So one of the things I always recommend is to bring a couple of teams to try and soften up the last boss. And one of those that you can always bring, or that I like to bring, is the Heroes team, because the Heroes team is very powerful. It has a lot of units that have some interesting utility. So units like, for example, the Xenopan has a really good dodge chance built in. There's the most defense on this turn. There's pretty much a full rotation of units that get most of their defense when they attack. So, but yeah, units like Xenopan that can dodge, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks that can guard. Obviously Dark Mask King guards and heals you on super. So there's a couple of decent units that, regardless of what the typing of the final boss is, you can use a heroes team to kind of soften up a whole bunch of their health, which is very useful. Now you can still get the same issue where you get, you know, the worst unit locked in slot 1, like for example with him being physical. Worst case scenario would be that, like, he locks Xenopan in slot 1 and then she doesn't dodge. Look at Supreme Kai of Time, just normal Supreme Kai. This is the rubbish Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai just dodging over here. Not really what we want to see. Then he seals 19 and Jerome. He's making it difficult for me on purpose now. So they're not going to get to super. We'll grab all of these for you. It's the only thing that can be slightly annoying sometimes in Battlefield with when the enemies have these effects, like sealing. Look how much he's dodging, but he's not very strong. That's the only thing, right? So he's dodging a bunch of our attacks, and then he's just not really doing any damage to us. Like even 7,000 damage from a super attack. And this is a team where we are running a 120 and a 130 leader, so we're not even running like some crazy powerful category combination. It's always just annoying when they do stuff like dodging repeatedly. I'm sure anyone out there who's had those runs where you lose right at the very end of like the Vegeta event or something, because for a whole turn right at the end he just dodges all of your attacks. So it's just prolonging the inevitable. But Cells over the 4.1. Oh my god. I swear that all the previous times I've done this, I don't think he's ever dodged this much. Because in the previous run, before this reset, he was Int. So I was using an extreme physical team that was basically all like Majin Buu characters. And I don't remember him ever dodging this much. Like so far this turn we haven't done any damage to him. And then the only unit that actually hits him is the one that he sealed. So we don't get to do any damage. Because if Vegeta wasn't sealed in that final slot, he would already be dead. Alright, so okay, we'll do this. We've sealed Kid Buu, which is unfortunate. And then this. Can we actually connect some attacks this turn? This should be one of the quicker, more straightforward fights, but Supreme Kai is making it way more difficult than it needs to be. There we go, we land another hit, and he is done. So that's the only thing, right? It's annoying because he dodges a lot sometimes, I guess. Like I said, it's never happened before, but he dodges a lot, but he can't really do a lot to you. And this is without a category lead setup again, so not particularly difficult. Then we have Trunks. So he is Int. So now we can use the physical team. So this is what I was talking about. So my extreme physical team, we've got Buu Tanks, then we've got Super Buu. He's the extreme 120 lead with 50% support for extreme physical. And then we just put all these other physical Buu units on the team. Now, some of them are not great, obviously, but it means we're able to run them under the Majin power lead from Buu Tanks. And a lot of these units do have like a ton of healing built in and stuff like that, right? So We can go ahead and do this. We'll leave Kid Buu in the last slot there, just because with him being an easy A unit, like this Super Buu in the middle is quite an old, weak unit. Is he the World Tournament one? As you can see from that brief flash there, I haven't even link leveled him. So, yeah, getting super attacked straight away in slot 1 by this Trunks is kind of annoying, because he can do some decent damage, but with the Margin team, this is actually like a really bad matchup for Trunks, because he can do some solid damage, but this team has so much built-in healing, and obviously Buu-Tanks is very, very powerful. As you can see here, like he's only getting his lead and then a 120 lead as the sub leader, and with his 18 key and then 1 additional super, we've almost killed Trunks already. So this Buu's not going to do that much damage, but Kid Buu might actually kill him here. Yeah, because I don't think Trunks can dodge, so I think he's just dead. Yep. So there you go. I mean, this team, not exactly the best in terms of crazy powerful units. We even got like the SR that awakens Evil Buu on the team, who is actually pretty decent after his awakening. But yeah, that was a very, very good matchup against that Trunks. Just got absolutely destroyed. And now we are on to the final level. So I want to be able to use Goku and Kid Buu in this run. So even though Omega does have damage reduction against extreme units, I'll probably use a Kid Buu team against Omega. So let's go ahead and use a super physical team here and make sure we bring... I didn't bring Goku. Are you actually kidding me? Alright, well, never mind, I guess. So super physical, the build that I've brought is Goku family, so we can use you, and then every other single unit is Goku family, including the Gohan, who's the 50% support. I actually can't believe I forgot to put physical Goku on here, where I put Kid Buu on here. I mean, it's not really important, right, because it's not the aim of the video, and Battlefield's not exactly difficult. To be honest, I don't know if we would we even get the possibility to transform with Super Saiyan into Super Saiyan 3 Goku on this run. I don't know that we actually would, because he's too good. I imagine we probably would have won before then. So 14 orbs for Gohan. Remember, all of the 50% support units are nukers. So I think this Piccolo can stun. Okay, good. Because yeah, I know the actual card can. So 5.7 million for LR Bardock here. With only what? He had like 3 links active, so just a casual 7.7 million damage and an additional super. So it shows you the difference in power when you're running like these categories, right? Because this Xeno Goku has a 130 lead for Goku family, and then obviously the GT Super Saiyan Goku has a 150 lead for Goku family. So this team getting a pretty significant buff out of that leader skill. And then, yeah, Gohan's just not going to take any damage. So with this rotation, look at this. We've got Heart Virus Goku in slot 1. So he's not going to take any damage. Then we got the support from version Z LR Goku as well. So I think it's probably going to be GG this turn for Piccolo. Yeah, Heart Virus Goku not going to be the hardest hitting unit in this setup. Mine is only 55%, but he can't really take damage. So he's a nice unit to have sat in slot 1. Piccolo's going to heal again, but 7.1 million attack stat from this GT Goku. This is him Rainbow full level 10 links, of course, but 9.5 million. Jeez. Alright. And then version Z Goku 2.5. Yeah, of course, that seals the deal. So, yeah, Piccolo destroyed. Some of these last fights can take a longer time if you're using these lower leader skills, but when you bust out a category team like that, you're not going to be hurting for strong options here. So we want Super Int against this Cell. So Super Int, we can run a Super Saiyans team. So obviously we've got Goku has a Super Saiyans leader skill, and then this Gogeta is the 130 lead for Super Int, but he is a Super Saiyan, right? So we can just run a Super Int Super Saiyans team. We'll save Pan for obviously the Heroes team, should we choose to run that against Omega. I want to run the Kid Buu team first, but I have a feeling that that could go horribly wrong, because obviously even as good as Kid Buu is, there is the possibility that he gets locked in slot 1 and then just destroyed by super attacks. So let's keep you around just because you are so good. Because I want to be able to get a super for Gogeta, and then Trunks is a nuker, so we want to get a decent amount of orbs for him. Xeno Vegeta is going to be able to hold his own. I was going to say, as long as he doesn't get super attacked in slot 1, he is a unit that builds up his defense very, very quickly. But, I mean, we can still recover from that quite easily. Cell can be attack lowered, so he does heal a lot, as you can see. We didn't do much damage to him yet, and he already healed, but you can see from the number that he does heal a pretty significant amount. And this is why you really want to try and save a super team for him, because if extreme units are doing less damage to him, and obviously it's going to take you even longer to actually beat him with all the healing that he does. Because remember, in Battlefield, it doesn't really come up all that often, because it's not something you're going to see that much, but remember, you do have, like, the turn limit. So you only get so many turns to actually win the fight. So I'm going to do this because Vegeta is a nuker as well. I didn't want to have him in the first slot picking up 2 orbs, so I'll have to only get the 12 key super. Having Goku in slot 1 where he's not being hit first is not really the ideal play, because he doesn't get the chance to get an additional super unless he's in slot 2 or 3 or he's been hit first. So usually you don't really want to play him in slot 1 unless he's taking a hit first, because you lose that potential to get the additional attack. But obviously sometimes, depending on the way the rest of the rotation is laid out, sometimes it is the smart choice. So LR Vegeta here at the end. Obviously no easy A on global, but still a very powerful unit. So decent damage, and of course his normal attacks are just not really doing anything to us because of the attack lower. But you can see there, like, the huge chunk of damage that we take. So we'll do this, because Gogeta gets a dodge chance if we get the rainbow orbs. And then if we do this, the Gotenks and Ghost is a pretty solid choice here, because not only do they get a buff from rainbow orbs, they give a pretty decent heal as well. So get a nice bit of healing, always nice in Battlefield when you can't actually use items. But look at that, Cell popping the heal at the start of the turn, and he's already now very close back to being on full health. But double super from Gogeta is massive here. So big extra damage coming in from him, and a crit as well, 5.3. You dodge this? You do not dodge this, but Gogeta raises defense on super, he double supered, so Xeno Vegeta can do some solid damage here. The only good thing is, obviously, Cell has already healed for the turn, so he's not going to heal again. And going into this next turn, if he's attacking in slot 1, then he's basically just going to get GG'd by Namek Goku. So, I mean, even if he isn't, to be fair. Okay, he's healing straight away in slot 1. Oh, hell yeah, we can just go ahead and do this. See you later, Cell. I forgot the animations were still turned off, but yeah. Goku is disappointed. So just get Cell out of there with the active skill. That's what we like to see. And then we can move on. So, who have we got next? We have got Vegeta or Feet Goku. So we'll go ahead and do Super Vegeta. So this is where we bring our Super AGL team. Do I have a build for this? Oh yeah, it's the Trunks and then Future Gohan and Trunks. I think everyone is on their category except for Trunks and Mai, which I'm only now remembering and haven't changed since the last time I used the team to run through Battlefield, but it doesn't really matter. We can go ahead and put them in the middle to keep them nice and hidden. But yeah, Future Gohan and Trunks in slot 1, being able to pick up all those AGL orbs. This could be a very quick run here, because very powerful unit. Not going to take much damage, and 4.2 on the attack. We should be, I think, did we get enough orbs to get a guaranteed additional? I think we might have done. I'm not actually sure, because mine have dupes, so I actually have no way to know whether, because I don't remember how many orbs I picked up. This could just be the additional from their hidden potential system, but yeah, they take no damage. Unfortunately, these guys are not going to do any damage, but their active skill can be useful as well, depending on how early you use them. This Vegeta cannot be stunned, though, so they're not a perfect matchup to use against him. But, I mean, look at that. We've done half of his health in the one turn, and this is the final phase. So, okay, so we've got UI. Wait, UI is not on one of their leader skills, apparently, because he's not getting a lot of key here. So, we can still put him in slot 1 and get the dodges. At least I hope so. So we'll do this, and then we'll do this. So yeah, this at the start I was talking about like some good strategies for this, but as you have seen throughout the run, I apparently have made multiple minor mistakes when it comes to my team building and my strategy for this. But obviously the thing is, if you have a very high level box like I do, Battlefield is not particularly difficult even if you do make these minor mistakes. So yeah, my AGL Trunks is 90%, so he's just kind of going off here. He gets the actual 5 attack turn. This is his best turn as well, the RNG. Super, the 2 guaranteed normal attacks, the extra super from the part of his passive, and then the super from the hidden potential. So Trunks just going absolutely wild there in that turn, getting his full potential in that turn. And now we just have Feet Goku, and we have a super tech team. So I still have a bunch of tech units on here because Omega was AGL last time, but for Super Tech, what I usually do is run a Goku family team. So we've got the leader skill from the Go Bros, and then we have the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku is a 130 lead for Super Tech. So now we can just bring all these really strong Goku family units. You're a Goku family support. And then we'll bring them, even though there's no GT heroes on the team. The GT Gohan and Goten are really, really good regardless. So even though they're not giving support, they're still going to be very good on this team. Alright, so Goku in slot 1 is good because he gets 3 extra keys. So that's an 18 key super for him. Go Bros obviously need a bit of build up, so they're not going to be their best on turn 1. But this is a pretty solid rotation here. I was going to say, I imagine we're going to get super attacked in slot 1, because that seems to be the general gist of how this goes. But 4 million attack stat from Prime Battle Goku here. Yeah, just a nice 5 million straight off the bat. This Goku has a lot of health though, as you can see. 5 million, and we've done like 1 health bar. 5 million damage, I mean. So, Go Bros, they did about 5 million themselves as well. He super attacks a lot, and he stunned them, but it was after their attack. So he could have stunned Prime Battle Goku in slot 1, which would have been unfortunate, but he did not. So these guys don't do a huge amount of damage. They do lower attack, though, so that is helpful. They stack as well, so obviously as the fight goes on, they will become more and more effective. And then, yeah, let's do this. We can get a load of rainbow orbs for this Goku, so that helps him out. That makes him a lot better. A lot of orbs for you as well. Very nice. Okay, so this is a very good turn here. So we should be able to dish out quite a lot of damage. We're getting supered in slot 1 again. But there's the dodge. Let's go. So Angel Goku 3.2. Again, remember, this is the team with one of the leaders being 130. So we're not going to see crazy numbers out of a lot of these units, but I mean, some of these units still able to do very, very well. This Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I really like this unit. I don't even really know, like, I don't think he's aged that badly. No one really talks about him anymore. I really want him to get a 200% team. Like, it's a big shame that he doesn't have Kamehameha as one of his categories, because then obviously he would be on the LR Gods 200% team. Because I really want to see him under a 200% leader skill. I do really like that unit. So, but yeah, the GT Go Bros getting their extra additional. So that is all she wrote for Feet Goku. And now it's time for the main event, which is the Physical Omega Shenron. So we have a couple of different options here. I haven't used any of my STR teams, so we can just run a normal Extreme STR team first, which, again, I want to try and use Kid Buu, but I don't know how well this is going to turn out. So what we could do is we could do Majin Buu Saga and Battle of Fate, because that is Kid Buu's leader skill, and then see what our selection is here. 3 units. Okay, well, I guess we're not doing that. Alright, so just Extreme STR. So, for Extreme STR, we could bring Janemba and Omega as the lead. So we are using quite a low leader skill lead here. But then if we bring units like Cooler... Actually, I wonder how many of these units are going to be on Transformation Boost. I imagine it's probably a lot, right? So Transformation Boost, Extreme STR. Yeah, because then we can use you as the leader, and then you're a Transformation Boost leader as well. So there we go. And then we got Janemba, we got... This guy's actually really, really good. We could bring Bojack. Alright, so we're going to have a very solid setup here. I don't want to bring any androids apart from this cell, because we could use 21 to do an android team as well. So we're going to try this out first, transformation boost team, see if we can actually get Kid Buu to do something in this run. Alright, so we've got Janemba. You're locked in the last slot, so hopefully Janemba can actually get some dodging here, and then this could be a solid turn. So we'll do this, and then there we go. So Cooler's providing support because it's transformation boost and we're only against one enemy. So this actually could work out really well. But, like I say, Omega takes less damage from extreme units, so that's actually not that bad damage, I guess. But we are running a very strong team here. There is a possibility that the last time I used an extreme team against him, it was using the lower power leaders. But, I mean, you can see there, we did like nearly 5 million with Cooler, and it's not even like a full health bar. So Omega is definitely the hardest battlefield boss that we've had. He hasn't supered yet, so I wonder if he locked Cooliza in the final spot because he intends to super it. Yep. At least it was the last attack of the turn. So actually, this is probably one of the luckier like starting turns you can get against Omega. Super attacked in the final slot. See, here we go. This is where this is where it's going to get sketchy. I want to have Frieza in the last slot because if he's not in the first slot, he's better in the last one because he's going to get the extra key. So we're not fighting a super type enemy, so he's not going to get extra key from that. But the extra key from being in the last slot is going to give him his 18 key super. Now, Super Buu, I think, does he raise defense on super? So, fortunately, we didn't take the super attack in slot 1. Of course, I've only just realised the fact that because we haven't seen him, Kid Buu was in slot 7. So when you want to try and use a very specific unit in Battlefield, you've also got that to contend with, because if he's in slot 7, you might not even get him on rotation. Like, this Extreme STR team is doing way better than I even had expected, so Frieza might even kill him. And we won't even get to see Kid Buu. So we didn't get to see Kid Buu or Physical Goku in this run at all. But Bojack going to take the super. Yeah, he eats that up. And then 4.3 from Frieza. This could actually be it for Omega, especially if he crits. No, he doesn't crit. If he had crit... Oh, come on, Frieza. Alright, so we are going to get to see Kid Buu, I guess. But the only problem is, I was going to say we have to put him in slot 1 if we want to see him do anything. But he's been locked in slot 1. Mine does finally have Big Bad Bosses at level 10. So Big Bad Bosses is active at least. And he has 142k defense. So it's not the craziest. He is getting support from Cooler. But double digits, perfect. And he didn't super us in slot 1. Alright, so at least Kid Buu got to actually finish off the run. But 2.5 mil. And goodbye Omega Shenron. So really, realistically, like using the Extreme STR team, that was the worst of the two, like mono teams that we could have used, and it was still quite easy, to be fair. So we did get quite lucky because again, the worst thing about Omega is when you get locked in slot 1 and then super attacked like straight away because of the defense lowering. But yeah, we didn't have to use any extra teams. And we got it all done. So let me know your experiences with the new reset for Battlefield. How did you find the physical Omega at the end? Let me know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.